This is the MPC Star Wars A New Hope X-Wing Fighter Snap Kit. It is a 163 scale, and I thought it was a reissue of the 77 offering, but it isn't. Once the 77 version was at 143 scale, which is quite a bit bigger. Let's see, I'm going to cover some of the cons before I go into the positives of this kit. So, the wings and the guns were molded in a single piece. Each gun was pointing in a different direction, were warped, and I had to straighten them out. That was a bit of a chore. The gun tips were molded parallel to the wings, so I had to cut them and turn them 90 degrees out so that they were perpendicular to the wings, as it should be. There were some plain areas with no detail, and I added some detailed bits just to make it a little more interesting. For example, right here at the outer wings, it's just a blank spot. Over here near the intakes, those were blank. Areas inside the wing here, I added a little more detail just to make it more interesting, as well as here below the exhaust, the nozzles. I thought about adding all the fuselage details too that it's missing, but I wasn't going to put that much work into it. The panel lines are raised instead of receded on the fuselage, but they are sharp and well defined, as you can see by the weathering. Decals were very delicate, not easy to work with. Almost every decal broke while placing. That was a pain. At this price point, the Bandai is the better kit, even though the Bandai is at 172, slightly smaller. But the Bandai kits are perfection. I only wish they made them in a larger scale. Even the Revell build and play X-Wings are better value with less to fix. If the MPC was at the same price point as the Revell, then maybe I could recommend it. See, the pros of the kit. There were very few pieces, so it was easy to put together. It looks like they fixed the profile on the fuselage, not as slender as the 77 version. The fuselage of the 77 looks like a dragster body, which makes sense since that's what was used for prototyping the X-Wing. The nose is thicker and more proportional on this kit, and the silhouette looks correct. The scale, though not as large as the 77 version, is a nice manageable size, slightly larger than the Bandai, as I already said. The final assembly went together surprisingly well considering everything I had to fix. Very happy with that. Well, once assembled, it's a nice canvas for practicing painting and weathering. And as I always said with almost any kit, but particularly the Star Wars kits, the correct paint job and proper weathering really brings the kit to life. I'm not at all disappointed with the final results. Again, I thought the final assembly was going to give me a little bit of trouble because the wings were so warped and I had to straighten that they were still really wonky. But they're pretty straight once they're on.